then we go to Earth with a little montage, which is Burbank, Burbank, California, subbing in as Arizona. And
we would say that it was Arizona. I know that there was discussion of where it was at, and Michael was going to say that he was in Phoenix, and then we had to take out all the references of Arizona.
Oh.
And the only reference that's kind of left in there is Michael saying, "Oh, it's hot, but
Dry
it's a
heat.
dry heat."
Yeah.
Yeah, I never understood why, because I remember, Graham, you made a menu to cover up an existing menu at the wine bar when he's talking to the guy whose wife had died.
Right, and it was
And
all
we
kind
were
of Arizona
putting it up,
stuff.
and they were like, no, cactuses. So we pulled some, we did something else. I don't remember what we did, but it was like, okay, we're not doing that now.
Right. Well, and he gets a Coyote Joe membership, which is Arizona thing.
And then, Mike said, well, that could be regional. But then it was the, we saw the address on the envelope. But,
right. Well, and we also put on, we're going to see his mail a little bit, but we put Scorpiotes on the stamps.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you still have cactuses on that bar, in that bar art. There's still cactuses in there. And Michael's, I can't pause here for some reason. Michael's apartment, I think, was a really awesome decorating little experiment because, what is it? And what would he have? And we brought little drawings from the village and put them as artwork. And there was a whole underlining thing where he loved Friends, and Mike sure wanted a welcome mat that just said Friends, and then we played off of that, and I got like Friends magnets for his fridge, where then Graham made up the Tom's Bistro throwback of from Parks and Rec, and we had that menu on the fridge. We did just a ton of artwork that was sort of something that would look like The Good Place and look like things that he wanted to remember from there. I had a whole like what would his record collection be? Like, I was really into doing Michael's apartment, and I'm really pissed that I only got to do it for this short amount because it would have been really fun. It would have been really fun to have done like a real Michael's apartment. I'm really bummed that it was only this little montage. But yeah.
Out that when the guy goes in to pull the guitar thing off, like when he's going to learn guitar lessons.
Yeah, the graphic for that.
Desperately, or I did. I don't remember if Graham, I think you did too. We wanted Clara Clayton to be the name because that was his wife's character in Back to the Future 3, but Clara Clayton didn't clear.
Oh, and we're a Universal show. It should have cleared.
I know. That would have been a nice little nod, but
that said not clear.
It didn't clear.
Oh my God.
I wanted to even just do Dr. Clayton, but we couldn't do it.
That would have been perfect. Yeah. Well, and then, we have this perfect little ending, and then we end up in an apartment building looking down.
Hang on, did anybody notice the bow tie collar on the dog?
On the dog? No.
I love
had
that
a little bow tie on, a heel bow tie.
Oh, how cute. On when Michael has a dog on his sofa.
Yeah, Jason.
Jason, right, Jason. The scene of the guy with the mail is an existing sort of apartment building that we spiffied up. And then went to the exterior of Michael's apartment, a different apartment complex. And this is where you see the Coyote Joe's membership graphic, which is awesome. Where we should have seen the Friends.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was like he really wanted it, and then they didn't get to show. It sucks, but whatever.
The apartment number was really important to Mike Sure. Right. I don't know why.
I don't remember either.
Yeah.
Forgot it.
It was probably his apartment number in college or something.
Hey, Graham, what was his name, though? His name changed twice, didn't it?
Well, Real Man is what it is and what aired, but right up until the very, I want to say like a couple days before shooting, it was going to be Not a Squid.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Not a Squid.
Right.
I thought it was pretty
Not
funny.
a Squid.
Real Man's funny, too, obviously.
So what is, what is your interpretation of that last sweet moment? Do you think a piece of her goodness landed on him and that's what made him go do that? Or what is your interpretation? How did you feel like it ended?
I don't think he needs Eleanor goodness. Do you?
No,
Is that what you mean?
I know what you're saying, and I think that is correct. I think Mike actually had talked about that in the meeting, like sort of a nod to Eleanor had become a better person because she would have just thrown the mail in the trash and walked away. And Eleanor comes floating down from space and lands on the guy. And he decides, I'll be a good person and I'll take it to this other guy's apartment building. Yeah, I think Mike, I don't think they obviously don't say that, but I'm pretty sure Mike had talked about that in the meeting.
I think you're right.
Yeah. And I think the idea was that by that guy doing something good, and then Michael being sweet towards him, it's like just kept one good act, creates another good act, and spreads good out there.
It's the pay it forward.
Yes,
Pay it forward too.
Yeah.
Without Kevin Spacey.
This one we're not going to do Spacey.
Does anyone have any favorite sets or scenes from the run of the show?
Cowboy Palace for me.
Cowboy
bar. Palace, sorry.
Cowboy Skyscraper.
Skyscraper, yes.
Oh, the buffet.
I think that's a huge fan favorite, and I know Kristen Bell's that's one of her favorites. I didn't do it, but I think it's a big hit.
So
you guys know that in Vanity Fair they have a page in Vanity Fair right now?
Who?
Yeah. So it's Kristen Bell, and it's for the award section. So it's just a picture of her, and it says her and her favorite props. Nope, I didn't know anything about this. A friend of mine saw it and sent me a picture. But it's got Mount Rushmore on there. So it's the June 2020 Vanity Fair.
Great.
Has a picture of her at a coffee table at a backlot table. And then it's got a picture of the sex toys.
That's great.
That's fantastic.
It's funny because they don't say any of our names. It's just she likes her props, and then they just list them. So.
But did they ask you are the props in the shot? Did they ask you for those, or no? It's just I gotta look at it.
I knew nothing about it. It's in print, and I was also like, could you pick something else besides her sitting at a table with a coffee cup out of all the fucking props we have? I said, a table with like this.
Yeah, give her shrimp cocktail
or margarita.
Do the fucking Janet cup if you're going to do a cup. Jesus.
I'm sure Colleen took a million photos of her holding things.
Yeah. Well, that's a bummer, but still a nice little.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Nice little shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, totally dig it. Yeah.
Graham, do you have a favorite graphic?
Well, I mean, I love a bunch of them. One that was on this episode that we spent a lot of time on, and then I don't think it got seen at all, was Tahani's Perfect Donuts.
I love
working
that
with Gay on that box. Yeah. But that really came together.
And I see it when he walks in with it.
He's holding it.
Oh, it is
there.
Tahani's. It's Tahani's on the box.
Right. There's a cartoon version of Tahani holding a giant donut, and it says like Abraham Lincoln's favorite donut. I just thought that was a fun box with a lot of jokes.
So much detail. Gay, do you have
I love that calendar. I love the calendar. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, the calendar was fun too.
Overall, throughout the entire season, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Whatever you'd like.
I don't know if it even ended up in the show. I can't remember. But
even better.
I know. Janet's tool. It's her multi-tool that she fixes the sinkhole with.
I don't think that made it.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Fun. And it had a grizzle phone on it.
Of course it did.
That's great.
Well, that's fantastic. Adam, you got anything?
I liked season 3 a lot. I feel like we laughed a lot and we made some really great stuff. I mean, season 4 was awesome. Don't get me wrong, but like I can point to a lot of things in season 3 in between us panting to try and get it done. Like I don't know, the post office and the bar. Those were last season, right?
Yeah,
so, like,
the bar was a lot.
Oh, the puking moose. Okay,
yeah,
maybe the
like,
puking moose is my favorite.
One thing after another, and all the restaurants we did, Sleeping Nemo and Drunk Nemo, and it was just like we made some really funny stuff in season 3.
Who's we? It sounds like a lot of set dressing, Adam. A lot of side. No, I'm kidding. We did a lot. You know what they did? They lied. Do you remember I say this all the time? Like, they got me on the show, and then they were like, hey, so, yeah, it's like all backlot, whatever. And then, like, season 3, they were on Earth the whole time, and then it was all fucking locations. And it was like, you guys fucking lied to me. We were supposed to be on the back. It was supposed to be all, like, sets and, like, backlot. No.
Yeah, the Budapest, and we were in Australia for a lot of it. I mean, God, how fun
God, we
was
built that
making
whole...
the magazine.
We built the whole damn thing. I mean,
the boomerang advertisement on the back of the magazine makes me laugh a lot.
That's still one of my favorites.
The Hemsworth brothers, all of that was so good.
The airport that we did, the Jacksonville International.
Randy Macho Man Savage.
The monster truck. That
was hilarious.
Anyway. I really like the Janet Voids and like, I mean, even though I just sort of recreated it, but that whole, like, accounting office, like, when we did throwbacks and to that type of design, I really liked doing all that. I just thought that was really fun. It's different. And I don't know why that style was selected, and then we had to keep going with it is a whole nother thing, but, like, I always did love doing all that. It was a really fun show, and I have said this, I don't think I appreciated it enough while I was working on it, and now I miss it.
Never do, Kim.
Yeah,
I know. Right. Well, I know, because I think that of Parks constantly of like, oh my God, because we were all on Parks. I miss Parks.
Yeah, the people on this show was so much. I mean, I loved being able to go into Gay, your office, or Kim, your office, or talk to Patrick, or talk to anybody on the team, because there was nobody who you had to avoid. You know? Wonderful. Hey, Gabe, where did the marbles? Where those marbles were so beautiful?
Oh yeah.
Oh, all over. But I was once we decided that they should look like their outfits. That was the challenge. So I only got lucky finding ones that kind of had a plaid and one
Disco Janet.
I had to buy like 1,500 marbles to get 20 that we used.
I remember that. I remember you sorting through marbles.
You guys should have been there for the marble giveaway. But the disco ball one, I had to make. So you'd think there'd be
a disco ball marble.
You think? Gay, were there any props that the actors wanted at the end?
I would say, yeah. So the necklace, the J plus J necklace. Manny ended up giving that to Darcy at a party I'm sorry, he gave it to her in front of everyone at the screening of the finale.
Yeah.
And like I said, Will wanted the calendar. Tehani did not ask me for anything. K-Bell wanted this piece of paper, this test thing that we made that she thought was hilarious. We gave that to her.
She did take home a sign. She took home the flower shop sign. Right?
Oh, that's right, from Flower Alley, yeah.
Flower Alley sign. And Ted Danson said he's not sentimental. And then when we showed him the poster that Graham had made of him in the magic and had it framed, he's like, oh, well, yeah, I got to have this.
I totally forgot that. Yes, okay, maybe that's my favorite.
Yeah,
that magician poster.
Everybody wanted that frame, so that was a good one.
That was a pretty funny one.
Yeah. And then all the magazines. Everyone always asks me for the magazines.
There's so many good props on the show. There's so many good there's so much good signage you guys did. So creative that you have to come up with. Like, it really was a really good show to, and I think too, because of Mike and maybe our familiarity with him, that, you know, you're allowed to be creative, especially like in our little world, and allowed to like give up options and thoughts, and, you know, even like as simple as like that bench, like just being like pressure on me to like present just one little bench, but, you know, it's a statement.
It's got to be the right one.
Yeah.
I was super excited. I have to tell you guys, when it was a very different experience from season 1 for me, until you guys got there. And then it was, yeah, you just speak a different language. We don't even have to speak half the time.
Yeah.
We walk in and we go, yeah. And then we're on it. And you just know that your back's going to be covered and you're going to get the best, because it was I'm not putting anyone down. It was just a bit of a struggle the first round. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they had a lot of struggles too with just coming up with what the hell this show was. I don't know if they knew what they wanted till they saw it, and I think that was one of the design problems they had, you know, that they corrected or worked with in that first season. But yes, I agree. Like, I think once all of us get together, it's shorthand, and it's great. Yeah,
and then it's better than what, you know, than it could be. I think we benefit from that, and we take advantage of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Gabe, how many novels did you write in this series?
In this series, did I write one?
Yeah,
there's definitely one.
Yeah.
No, because there was a sequel to it. What was the title?
It was Back Once
it was
More
the guy
into the Lion's Den.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, back to the Lion's Den.
What's his name had it? The golfer. He had one of your novels, didn't he?
No, no, that was another funny one, Graham. Everybody loved. No, I would say a lot of people wanted that book. They wanted, God dang it,
Driver.
What's it called?
MacGyver?
Chip Driver.
Chip Driver.
Hey, I have lots of those if anybody wants them.
Oh, good to know.
Oh, yeah.
Etsy shop it.
Etsy shop.
And or my garage.
Kim, what you were saying earlier about how you miss the show and you know, you don't realize what a good time you have until it's gone. I think it's, you know, with shows like this, it's great because you can kind of do whatever you want on shows like this, because we really did span all places and all times. And most shows, when you work on them, I feel like, you know, you're in an era, whatever era that is. If you're on Mad Men, you're in that era. If you're on
You're stuck.
CSI, it's contemporary. It's, you know, it's very short spans of time. And this, it was like we could go anywhere. And it wasn't just decades, it was space and wherever we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And I think that made it really fun to do.
Yeah. Rules, but not having rules.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A little bit of rules. I always think the first concept, the first time I was wrapping my brain around it was when in my head what was beautiful. You know, like if it's beautiful, then it's okay, you know, or if it had a European look to it or something that was like everyone's idea of a perfect vacation, you know, from the bicycles to whatever the food would look like. And then they threw us a loop and it's hell. I think it's right. Because none of us knew, right, that it was hell, you know.
Well, you were the only one on it first season, right?
Yeah, who?
Just you.
Just me. Out of you guys? No.
No, it was just you.
So you should know that even the crew, everyone who worked on it, you didn't know that it was hell till that last concept meeting.
No idea. And when I got inside my head, like, oh, did I do and that's Mike's like, well, that's why I didn't tell anybody, because I wouldn't want you to do anything, just go as planned. Very tricky.
It's a smart one. It's a smart one that makes sure.
I probably would have thrown in some stuff, with, subliminal stuff. And
yeah.
I'm glad I didn't.
Well, yeah, I think it was smart of him not to tell anyone, because creatively it's in the back of your head of like, oh, I gotta avoid red. Oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I gotta and you knowing the reason why. So, yeah, it was smart of him not to tell anyone. I wonder if he told NBC. I don't think so.
I think he did. I think I've heard him tell a story that only KB and Ted Danson knew, I think, and the writers, obviously.
Well, I know that there's a video online of him telling the actors and their reaction. But I think it's like during that last episode read or whatever. Yeah, maybe he only told a couple people and he contractually had to tell Kristen Bell and Ted Danson where they were going. But yeah. No, and this whole little thing is really just for Mike Schur to understand how important this design team is, and so that we have another show to all work together on, maybe in the future, I hope.
That's right.
That would be something. 3 times, if we all got to work together again 3 times, that would be something. Yeah. I'd have to say.
Fantastic.
Magic.
Yeah, that would be something. You never know.
Well, it'd be great to get back to work, period, with all of you. I mean,
well, yes, that's true.
Oh, I could care less. I don't want to go to work. I got this going on.
I know that Kim caused this. She just kept saying.
It was on my vision board, Gay.
Pandemic.
I put pandemic on my vision board, and look what happened. No, this is awful, and everything that's happening in this country is awful right now, and I'm glad that all of you are safe and healthy. Likewise. And just doing our best. I hear we're going to get back to work soon, and by the time this airs, we might actually be back to work, so who knows?
That's fantastic.
Fingers crossed.
Can you be done editing in a week?
Don't pressure me, Ian.
I mean, you said it was when you were going to be done, so I'm just trying to hurry along a little bit.
This is an Emmy podcast. This is airing during Emmy voting. This is not next week, Ian. Get your calendar straight.
I don't even know what day it is anymore.
I know. Every day I have to wake up and I'm like, it's Friday.
No.
It's Friday.
That was up for a while, and now it's real.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that calendar that Graham made, I've been using. Where I'm at anymore.
We're all on the Good Place calendar.
You're just demon looping Power of Love over and over again in your head.
Cheers to everyone. If you have a drink.
Cheers.
I don't know.
Cheers.
Cheers. I love you all. Thank you so much for doing this, and yeah, that was a great finale. I think we all worked really hard to make it a good finale for the show, and I'm really proud of all of our work. So thank you.
Yeah, it was great.
I love you guys.
Likewise.